Imagine being trapped. On one side, the most powerful army of the ancient world, thirsting for blood. On the other, an insurmountable wall of water. Humanly speaking, it was the end. But for Moses and the people of Israel, it was only the beginning of one of the greatest events in human history. Today we're going to delve into Moses' epic journey, understand the strategy behind the Red Sea, and why this event still defies logic to this day. Prepare your heart, because the sea is about to part. The people of Israel were enslaved in Egypt. Pharaoh, fearing that they would grow too large, ordered, "Every Hebrew boy that is born must be killed." But a woman named Jochebed hid her son for 3 months. When she could no longer hide him, she placed the baby in a basket in the Nile River. Thus, God was already beginning a plan. Exodus R. As an adult, Moses saw an Egyptian mistreating a Hebrew. He reacted and ended up killing the Egyptian. Afraid of being discovered, he fled to the desert of Midian. There, he married, became a shepherd, lived many years away from Egypt. The call of God. Exodus 10. One day, on Mount Horeb, Moses saw something incredible. A bush was burning with fire, but it was not consumed. God spoke to him, "I have seen the suffering of my people, and I have come down to deliver them." And then he said, "You will be their leader." Moses hesitated, but God assured him, "I will be with you." Moses returning to Egypt. Moses confronts Pharaoh. "Let my people go." But Pharaoh hardened his heart and refused. He didn't know that decision would change everything. The refusal brought consequences. Then God began to act, with power, signs, and wonders, to free his people. Then God sent 10 plagues upon Egypt. Water turned to blood, frogs, lice, flies, death of livestock, Beverly boils, hailstorm, locusts, darkness, death of the firstborn. After the last plague, Pharaoh finally let the people go. The crossing of the Red Sea. Exodus. Mesmo a pos liber, Israel, o Pharaoh, modu di dia, a porsegui a povo, els facarum encurralados, a frente, Omar, atros, o exercito. Then God said, "Stretch out your hand over the sea." And everything changed. The wind blew, the impossible happened. The sea parted, forming walls of water. In the midst of the chaos, a path appeared. The people advanced on dry land. Fear still existed, but faith prevailed. As they crossed, God fought for them. The impossible ceased to be a barrier, and became the way. When the last Israelite crossed, God commanded again. The sea returned, the waters descended with force, and Pharaoh's army was swallowed. What was once a path became judgment. On the other side, the people were safe. Fear turned into victory, and all saw God fought for them. They would never be slaves again. Moses did not return to Egypt. He led the people through the desert toward the promised land. They passed through the desert of Shur, through Marrow where God made the water, drinkable, and arrived at Elim, a place of rest. Then they continued to Mount Sinai. There God spoke to Moses and gave him the 10 Commandments. God calls Moses from Mount Sinai. God descends on Mount Sinai. The mountain becomes covered in clouds, fire, thunder, and lightning. At the top of Mount Sinai, amidst the silence and divine presence, Moses received the tablets of the law. Inside the cave, God revealed his will, engraving the commandments on stone. It was more than laws. It was a covenant. Moses descends from the mountain. Moses goes down with the tablets of the law, but he finds the people in sin. Upon seeing this, Moses becomes enraged. He breaks the tablets, showing that the people have broken their covenant with God. Moses goes down to the people and confronts them all. The golden calf is destroyed, burned, and reduced to dust. He calls those who are still faithful to God. Even after this, Moses goes up the mountain again. And prays for the sin of his people. After all that, the journey continued. Moses led the people through the desert, step by step, toward the promise. Years passed until they reached Mount Nebo. There, from the top of the mountain, Moses saw the promised land, but he would not set foot on it. His calling was complete. Moses came close to the promised land, but did not enter. God led him to Mount Nebo, and there, from the top of the mountain, he saw the promise. From afar, the journey was complete. The leader who liberated a nation now rested, knowing that God would fulfill what he had promised. The wind blew softly, like a divine whisper. It wasn't defeat, it was fulfillment, because Moses was never about arriving. It was about leading, and there, in that sacred silence, God himself called him home. No tomb, no monument, only eternity, and his story echoing through the centuries, because men pass away, but what God does remains forever.